Power to the truth. This is Margo. This is Friday, March 29th, 2019, 5:31 p.m. Pacific Time, United States of America. So I went ahead and recorded the CAM's methane data this morning in case it went away. So I'll go ahead and play that recording, and then I'll continue with the earthquake report, and that'll be it for tonight. So hang on, methane is coming. Hey, this is Margo, and it's Friday morning, and I'm going to go ahead and record the new methane data that's up on CAMS, just in case it goes away before I get ready to do my show later on today. Yesterday, they had methane data from Saturday, March 23rd up, and so I showed that, and now this morning their Saturday is gone, and now they've got Sunday, March 24th up. So this is from Copernicus Atmosphere Monitoring Services, and I've chosen the Arctic view and surface level for us to see. So let's go back to the beginning. So this is where it was at the end of Saturday, with the methane was kind of dispersing from, there had been a large release in the Kara Sea, and then it was still releasing out into the Arctic going towards the North Pole area, and then this large release coming up out of northern Russia, Siberia, and then out of Russia over here as well. And we're going to look at the global view also. So I already had this movie loaded up. So here it goes, and now it's into the forecast period through Thursday, which is yesterday. They're so late, they're like almost a week late updating the methane, and it concerns me because with it that late, we can't compare it to other data that we have access to, unless we record that data and then go back and look and compare. So I don't know what's going on, and methane and carbon dioxide are always lagging on CAMS as far as the information, the data, and everything else is up to date. All the other greenhouse gases and particulates and formaldehyde and aerosols, everything else is up to date. So these levels, when you get into this orange, this red orange, that's 2100 parts per billion, and then the dark red is between 2140 and 2160 parts per billion, and then the darkest, which I call black, it's this dark brown, can be anywhere from 2140 to 10,000 parts per billion. So there's that. So there it is at the end of the forecast period, which was yesterday. So it's just waves and waves of the release. So now we'll look at this on the global view. It's a little jerky the first time through until it smooths out. look at the huge release in South America, and we've talked a lot about where methane comes from, and it can be from natural sources and from man-made sources. And as it gets warmer up in this northern hemisphere, it's going to be releasing more and more. I'm not looking forward to this summer. And you can see a definite demarcation between the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere as to the background level. This dark blue and into the purple. The dark blue is about 1800 parts per billion, and then going down like this light purple is about 1760 parts per billion. So, and then it goes immediately up into about 1840. So that's the background level. So it's getting higher, and you know, they can change their color charts if they want to, you know, to make it not look so alarming, but it's still very bad. So I'm just recording this just in case this data from Sunday is not here when I get ready to do my show later on today. Signing off for now. Peace out, Margo. So now we're going to look at the earthquake report, and I have USGS pulled up here for all magnitudes for the last 24 hours, and we're showing 303 earthquakes worldwide. So it's down some since yesterday, but it's still quite active, very active. So of those, we have 37 that are 2.5 magnitude or higher. So let's see what's going to come off the map soon that I need to cover. Okay, we're going to start. Actually, I can start anywhere I want because these are not going to come off for a little while. But I'll go ahead and start with this one up in Russia. We saw that large one there yesterday, and then they had, what was it, a 6.1 or something, and then it then they had another one right in the same place after that. So this is a 4.3 off the coast of Kamchatka near over Ozernovsky, Russia, last night at 6:29 p.m. And then after that was a 4.3 near Vostok, Russia at 10:09 this morning at 113 kilometers deep. So coming on down, we'll go ahead and cover all this ring of fire next. We've got 3 in a row here off the coast of Japan. We've got a 4.5 near Ishinomaki at 11 o'clock this morning, 48 kilometers deep. A 4.5 near Iwaki at 8:24 last night, 35 kilometers deep. And a 4.6 near Hitachi at 1:47 this morning, 41 kilometers deep. So those are all lined up in a row by that red line there, that tectonic plate. Then there was one in the ocean to the south of this South Island, a 5.2 near Nishi-Numoti, Japan at 1:55 this afternoon, 26 kilometers deep. Coming on down into Indonesia is a 5.1 near Simpa, Indonesia, This happened this morning at 7 o'clock. All these times are Pacific time because it's my time zone. And that was 178 kilometers deep. Now this is getting near Lombok. Here's Bali and here's Lombok. So this is a very highly active region for earthquakes and volcanoes. And there was a 4.7 near Samlaki at 1:54 this morning. Then down here, 4.6 near Lambasa, Fiji at 7:49 this morning. Quite deep, 553 kilometers deep. And the deeper they are, the more they will make the tectonic plates move around the earth. That's just how it works. And we saw, so here's another one at Mayati. We saw one here yesterday, and so we have another one, a 4.1 near Pamandzi, Mayati at 1:21 this afternoon. So that's two in a row there. Then this one just came in this is Russia. It's just across the border from Mongolia. It's 4.7 near Kairin, Russia. This came in at 4:22 this afternoon. There's Kairin, and there's the earthquake. Coming on down into South America, there was a 4.1 near Putre, Chile at 2:42 this afternoon, 124 kilometers deep. And a 4.6 off the coast of Puerto El Triunfo, El Salvador at 9:07 last night. So those are the international earthquakes. So if we go to all magnitudes now, let's look at Hawaii first. We're showing 12 here on the map today, and 3 of these have just come in. So I'll just click them and call them off. A 1.8 at a 0 kilometers depth. 2.1 at a minus 0.6 kilometers depth. That's at Kilauea. 1.4, 1.5, 1.9, 1.8, 1.9, 1.8, 1.4, 1.6 at Kilauea at 0 kilometers depth, 2.6, 2.3, and 2.8. So movement is still happening there. It hasn't stopped. And I don't think it's going to stop. There's just too much going on over there. Then in the Dominican Republic, we've got 10 here today. I'll call them off. A 3.4, another 3.4, 1.3, 3.2, 2.0, 1.3, 2.1, 1.9, 2.7, and 1.8. So the 3s were clustered up here in the ocean, and the rest of them were right on the land or right next to it, but that's not big enough to do any damage. Now, zooming into Alaska, for all magnitudes, we have 123 here today, so it's more than their average of 50 to 100 a day. And it's still clustering up here at Kobuk, so we're going to look at that too. Down here in the Aleutian Islands, we had a 4.8 near Adak, and a 2.1 near Nikolsky, 2.5 near Chernabura Island. We've got 3 here near Kodiak, a 3.5, 3.2, and yep, and a 3.2. Then coming up in here through these islands, a 1.67 at Larsen Bay, 1.6 Kodiak Station, and then they're peppered around coming through this Cook Inlet. And remember that Redoubt Volcano is right in this area, so it's showing movement, lots of activity. And here's a couple over here. Here's the Anchorage region, pretty quiet. We're only showing 17 when we zoom in on the Anchorage area, and the largest one, they had 2 2.0s, it looks like. Not very far apart. This 2.0 was at 5:06 this morning, and then there was a 2.0 right down here at 5:14 this morning. So the rest of them are under that. So pretty small, and they're pretty small up in this mountain range here today. It's 2.3, Talkeetna 1.6. So they're just peppered around. But look, let's take a look at Kobuk. That's still going. It's less than yesterday, but it's 55 here. So it's still very active. And a lot of these are right at the surface, like at look at all of these, 0 kilometers depth. So I can't say what's happening with all of those right at the surface. It almost looks like tremors that are coming, you know, just manifesting as these earthquakes, just like right at the surface for whatever reason. I know that's not a very good explanation. Let's see what was over 2.5 magnitude here. Look at all of those. We've got 11 over 2.5 magnitude. I'll call them off: 2.8, 3.1, 3.3, 3.1, 3.4, 3.2, 2.7, 2.6, 3.0, 3.1, and 3.1. And then the rest of those are less than that. So it's really, something's going on up there. And then there's one up here near Notak, a 2.4. What size is that? 2.6 at Salcha. So there's those. So let's come on down into the lower 48. Eerily quiet on this from looks like nothing in Utah. Eerily quiet from Utah all the way east. Look at that. Nothing on the map. It's all over here on the west. So let's start up here at Yellowstone. We're showing 7 here today. There, okay, including these down here. I'll call them off. 1.2 Phillipsburg, Montana. 1.0 Manhattan, Montana. 1.1 Manhattan, Montana, 0.2 Moose Wilson Road down here, 1.5 Manhattan, Montana, 1.1 Lincoln, Montana, and a 1.9 back down here at Moose Wilson Road. So, not a lot, but it's showing movement. Now in the Pacific Northwest, we are showing some earthquakes here today and some blasting. But before we look at this, I have the real-time tremor map pulled up. This is for the last 24 hours, I think. Yeah, 24 hours. And they found 10.3 hours of tremor in the last 24 hours. So, I don't know how many that is. They don't say. They don't say how many that is, but it's a lot. And they're clustered up here in Washington, and then clustered down here in California. So we got those going on. Here's Redding, so they're clustered up there. So, I mean, other people can certainly come to this tremor map and look at it in more detail if you'd like. So we're going to start with this quarry blast of 1.7 magnitude near Benton City, Washington at 11:30 this morning at a minus 0.5 kilometers depth. Here's a earthquake of 0.9 near Packwood, Washington. 1.1 Odell, Oregon, and 2.2 Odell, Oregon. And these were both you know what? There's another one there. They were covered up. I saw another one there and it's like I didn't see it. These are all at negative depth. The first one was a 1.7 at 4:27 this morning at a minus 1.6 kilometers depth. Then there was a 1.1 at 6:38 this morning at a minus 0.4 kilometers depth, and a 2.2 at 6:43 this morning at a minus 1.5 kilometers depth. So that's up in the mountain, and you know what that means. I've talked about that. You know what that means if you've been watching my updates. Next, we've got a 4.2 near Petrolia, right off the coast, right near the San Andreas Fault Line, the Juan de Fuca Plate. This is in the Cascadia subduction zone. This is the largest one we've seen for a while. And this happened at 9:55 last night, 27 kilometers deep. Coming on down to Northern California, we've got two little ones at Mineral, a 0.5 and a minus 0.1. And then coming down into the Reno area, we've got a 1.1 near Truckee, California. And then Reno's clear. Not very many in Nevada today. Coming on down, here's Hawthorne. We've got a couple at Hawthorne. There's a 1.1 and a 0.9. Here's this is near Dixon Lane, Meadow Creek, a 1.1 and a 1.5. Goldfield's quiet today. And then we've just got like 4 little tiny ones down here and a 1.3 near Moapa Town. So that's quiet. Maybe the earthquake makers took off early this weekend. I don't know. Now at the geysers, we've got 49 here today. Most of these are under 1, as you can see. Here's a 1.8. Here's a 1.2, 1.4, and so forth, 1.6, and the rest are under, or close to, close to 1 or under. So that's still a lot of movement there. Coming on down, this one just came in the San Francisco Bay Area near Vallejo, 2.9, 4 kilometers north of Rodeo, California, and it's on the land there. So 2.9, they probably didn't even feel it. You never know. It could have been a 3. I don't know. They might have felt a little shaking or something, or maybe not. That happened at 5:34 this afternoon. Coming on down, we've got a couple right here. One on land near Colma, a 0.8 at 11:20 this morning, and a 1.3 in the ocean at 12:12 this afternoon. Coming on down, just south of San Jose, was a 1.6 magnitude quarry blast near 7 trees at 2:18 this afternoon, minus 0.5 kilometers depth. And we've got a pair right here at Gilroy, a 1.8 and another 1.8. And then a 1.1 near Pinnacles. And a 1.2 at Parkfield. .8 near Vanderburg Village. 0.1 kilometers depth. This happened at 3:47 this morning. Here we've got 2 right here at Peru, 1.6 and 1.3. So again, they're happening in pairs or clusters, it looks like. I don't know why. My computer's acting up. Coming on into Southern California. Here's a 2.4 near Ocotillo. Here's a little tiny one just across the border, a 0.9 near Tecate, Baja. Okay, in Southern California we have 48 on the map today. Let's see if any of these are 2.5 magnitude or higher. I don't think so. What we okay, we just saw that. No, all of these are under 2.5 magnitude. So pretty quiet. Here's Kauai. There's 24 in the map area here. So here's a 2.1 near Coachella. That's one of the higher ones. And so on. Here's a 1.4 near Ludlow. Let's see if Fulton had, Fontana, how many are there today? We've got 6 at Fontana today. Well, not even that many. We've got DeVore with some, and that's not right there. So we've only got 3 at Fontana today. Remember, we had the clustering here the last few days. So that's calmed down. Now coming up the east side, I showed that. Here's a 1.4 near Lake Isabella. Here's a 1.5 near Stovepipe Wells. And now at Mammoth Lakes. Let's get this zoomed in. We've got 8 here today. They're small, 0.4, 1.2, 0.8, 0.9, 0.6, 0.9, 1.7, 1.1. None of those were at a negative depth. And I think that's a wrap. I think that's a wrap, folks. Let's zoom out, see what else has come in that we need to look at. Okay, we've got something showing up here in Kobuk. Wonder if I showed that at 3.1. That came in at 522. That might not have been on the map earlier. So they're still coming in up there. And we've got 2.8 other event at Pahala, Hawaii, whatever that means. It's an other event. You see this? There are 2 of these. They're in the ocean. Let's go to all magnitudes. I haven't seen that before. I've not seen that before. That's crazy. I have no clue what that means. It's showing up. It's showing up like a little diamond, like an explosion, and they're calling it other event. There's a 2.8. That was the last one. It came in at 5:25 p.m. 37 kilometers deep. Right before that was this 2.3 in the ocean near Pahala at 5:16. And right before that, where'd the other event go? Here it is. Was a 2.6 at 5:16, the same time as the other one. 15 kilometers deep. So these 2 happened at exactly the same time. And 2.8. Let's see what other event means. Let's just look it up, see if we can find it. Other event USGS. Nope. I'll do a little searching and report on what if I can find out what an other event is before my next show. So that's very curious. Other event. And those were pretty good size. 2.6. Other event, 2.6, 43 kilometers southeast of Hawaii. I don't know. Other event, 15 kilometers southeast of Pahala. That's kind of flipping me out. So hope everyone has a good weekend. Just wanted to start letting you know that there are going to be some changes coming to my platform. I don't have everything set up yet. When I get everything set up, I'll do an announcement video. But there are going to be some changes coming, and I'm gonna try and move our community to the next level, and so just be watching for that. And so I love you guys, and I do believe we are in the end times, and it's getting darker and darker every day, and it's getting harder to discern. It's getting harder to know what's real and what's not real, who's real and who's not real. And the world is getting to be a scary place. So, but I don't mean to scare people with my reports. I mean to show what's going on so that people can realize where we're at in this time frame, and that we are so close to the end. Seriously, no matter how you slice it or dice it, we're so close. And I just think everyone needs to get right with God and Jesus. If you haven't done so, I mean, I'm afraid. I'm afraid for your soul if you haven't done that yet. So I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. So until next time, God bless you. Go in peace and good night.